welcome back. I had a weird week. And I'm struggling with a bit of vertigo. But anyways, welcome. I am going to be trying to finish, I always say this, I'm going to try and finish the project that I was working on, but essentially I'm going to try and finish the sleeve, the rest of the sleeve, because last time we kind of ripped it all apart and had to try again, and I realized now I was using the wrong hook, a bigger size. So now, I found the right hook again, and now we can fix it. So that's the plan. As always, there's going to be crazy cats roaming around, and I have an ice pack because my wrist has been killing me. The worst thing about a forced rest is the fact that your body gives out on you. And I have an ice cap. Because although it is snowing, an ice cap is necessary. But yes. I need to finish this arm. And I don't know how many layers I have, so I have to really count it. Okay. But I feel like because I used the wrong hook, it's gonna be like completely messed up now. So I don't even think like counting it would matter. It would more so just be like making sure that we're paying attention to what's happening. So like I would need 2 more things after this, and then 2, maybe 3 because I'm going back to the original, and then fray it out. Perfect. And then once that's done, we can work on the bottom part, and then it's pretty much done, and then we move on and we do a new project. And I feel like I'm gonna make some hats and put them on my Etsy, which I still have not put anything up yet, but I have my Etsy like online, but I have not put any of the projects online yet, so that's something I have to do. But yeah, now I'm excited, so let's keep going. Let's see what happens. I'm very excited. I have a lot of energy because it's February, and that means January is over, and that's like my favorite thing, is that January is over. But yeah. And right now I have 2 chaotic cats, so I might yell if he decides to do something crazy. So that's a little heads up. But yeah, welcome one viewer. Hello. I'm finishing this arm to the best of my ability because I don't know how long I could do this until my arm gives out, because my carpal tunnel is kind of like flaring today, but I knew I wanted to stream a bit, so I thought I would still go on and then do a little bit and then see what would happen. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a pretty interesting week. I got schooled yesterday by some old guy, and I understand that I'm not the best, like I'm not like a very well-read I'm a very well-read person for my generation. But this man has probably read books for over a bazillion years, so like I went to this bookstore and I was like, oh, do you have this book? And he's like, you want that book? And I'm like, yeah, it's like my favorite book, but I lost my copy. And he literally was just like, so it was just like, that's one of the worst books I've ever read. I was like, what do you mean? It's a classic. And he's like, but it's not that good compared to other things. And I was like, that's so sad. But it was Brave New World, and I had a copy. I have no idea where it went. It's mostly my fault in that notion anyways, because I tend to give books away and then forget that they exist. So that's on my end. Like, I gave my friend my Alan Watts book, and also it's like The Way of Zen, and then also I gave him a book on relationships, and I have never gotten it back. But that's fine. That's just like shit. I'm never gonna get those books back, but whatever. So yeah, that kind of is probably what happened to The Brave New World. I just don't know who I gave it to, and now I'm like, have been looking for a copy for forever, and I can't find one. And I don't want to get like a new copy because like, sorry, it's just a place of buying it, right? Like I would rather go to like any type of bookstore in this city than buy it from like a big brand, or like buy like from small book businesses. I'd much rather do like that because they tend to have like cool covers or like notes in them and stuff, but no, nothing yet. So it'll come. I'm really excited for this one to be done. Mostly because first off, I'm gonna make some cool hats, like I said, but I have another shirt pattern that I really want to do, but I need a different color. Like, all I have is grays and browns and black. They're coming to get us. Yeah, I only have like gray and black and like browns because I tend to use wool that other people have like secondhand, but I can't seem to find anything as of yet. And that's okay, we'll figure it out. But there's like this cool pattern that I had for a very long time, and I want to do a colorful version of it, so like a green. But yeah, I need to look for green, and I need to order it. So if I make some hats, you never know, maybe I will find it. I'll be able to do it and then not have to worry about that. Huh? Let me go back and take away that double. Cool. So yeah, that's like something I really want to work on, is finishing some of the patterns I've bought in the past and have just never done, like this one. But yeah, and I only really choose to use secondhand wool and buy secondhand wool, so it's like you really just have to pick and choose as you go. So I need like a really cool green that I want to look for. That's why this is so patchy now, because I ran out of the blue. Well, I'm running out of the blue, so you kind of have to like work with what you have. And so I have a bunch of random blues, but it's not the same wool as the original. He's attacking. I wonder. I could probably just keep going until this is done, this color. But I need to make sure. Like I said, they're very chaotic today, so you're going to probably hear them in the background. Nice. Okay. Now I can start doing like additions to it and add more and make it phrase, because it's already it's at halfway now, a little bit over. But yeah, it's been pretty good today and yesterday. I had like photography projects that have been on hold for like months, since one was like October, one was December, a lot. So, sorry, no, August. So lately all of them are getting, like the past 2 days they've been getting posted, and it just kind of like made me happy because it's like I'm glad that they're getting a good, like people like them, and it kind of like reminded me why I loved doing it in the first place, because it's just like the collaborating of it and the fun of like being with your friends and doing fun projects, and also like turning people into their own art pieces as like my favorite part about it. So it kind of reminded me about how and why I did it in the first place, because I was really considering different things, or like I'm still kind of considering different things in a way, but like I'm still considering to do change. I just don't know how I want to go about it yet. So it's like it's really nice that there's been a good receptive attitude towards it, because I don't really know. I don't know what I want to do. I just feel like I need to do some change, like real change. I just don't know how I want to go about it. And also, like, it's hard to do. Like, you have to really confirm what you want to do before you make it official, which is like the scariest part, because it's like once you put it out there, then you're kind of like everyone's going to know the difference now. So you have to be really careful. Why is this on the top? That makes no sense. Oh my god, I've been doing this wrong the whole time. Well, okay. The chaos, like I said, it's going to keep happening. Because he's so chaotic. Hi, Horace. That man. Yeah, I just realized I was doing this wrong the whole time. Usually you don't put the seam on the top. You put it at the bottom. But for some reason, I did it this way, and now it's going to stay that way because I'm not going to redo all this. And we're just going to live with it. It's just going to stay this way forever, and we're not going to bother anymore. We're definitely not going to take it apart anymore. I can't believe I didn't notice that until now. What a joke. Okay, anyways. So yeah. Is it inside out already? It is. Now I'm just confusing myself at this point. Boom. Cool. And then match it. Cool. I'm starting to get very confused. And that's what happens when you don't do your own thing. You just make shit up, is you'll get confused. So I think I'm not going to do any increases yet. I'm just going to stick to the small and then go from there. And do like 2 more rows, and then I'll start increasing to create the flare out. And that is why you follow patterns. Or at least just pay attention, like create a certain type of rule for the rows, but I did not do that. And that is why things don't really work out the way that you think it is. Well, for me. It never turns out perfect. Or like the way the pattern wants, because I don't actually pay attention to things, and that makes it worse. Okay. And yeah. But thank you, viewer, for staying. I don't really understand what you're enjoying about it, but it's still good. I'm trying to like make sure he doesn't jump down. I don't know how to explain it. So I have like this big bookcase, and my cat is just standing on the top of it, and he keeps staring at me. I don't know why, but I don't want him to jump and break the mirror. But I guess he's a scout. He's scouting. It's funny too because he's like very much he just wants to make friends. Oh, he's moving. Okay. He very much wants to make friends, so he'll like watch Taffy, but he won't go near her because she doesn't like it. And that's very relevant to who I am. Watch the TV! Bucket. Thank you. Almost lost the TV. But yeah. He's a very cute guy. He's just a little bit chaotic. Okay, and now he's gonna fall asleep. But yeah, it's cute. I really love him. He's a good guy. Just chaotic. What is up with your teeth? Okay, sorry. But yeah, we're working on this. I'll show you. And like they say, cats are just like having toddlers. They're constantly trying to destroy things. But yeah. And then tomorrow I want to go to, well, I just want to go for a walk. I've been trying to look for like, yeah, cute bookstores, but I also kind of just want to buy myself flowers. I think that'd be really cute. And sentimental. You gotta do it to yourself sometimes in order to make it, to show how much you love yourself. But yeah. Let's make sure this is going to work properly. But yeah, I hope you're doing good. Oh yeah, so the Grammys happened. Loved it. Loved every moment of it. Who won things? I forget who won. I just remember that the whole Kendrick thing was funny as hell. Then you have, oh, poor Billie, she didn't win the award, the album of the year, which is kind of depressing. But she like did really good. I think that was probably her best album as a whole. But who knows? Cowboy Carter, yes, sure. I did not listen to it, so I have no idea. Chapel, yes. And her like performance is really good too. I really liked it. It's very Les Mis themed, which I don't know if that was on purpose, but it was definitely very Les Mis themed. And then you have cool. Then there was like Sabrina Carpenter, but I am not a massive fan. Not that she's not good or anything, it's just she's not my like. I liked last era of Sabrina, where it was like emails I cannot send, whereas new Sabrina is okay, but like a little too cookie cutter for me, and I get that's the point of being a pop star, but who knows. And then there was Ray, which was good, and Don't You Want It. I was so happy because that was such a good fucking album this year. It's well deserved. I loved that one. And then what else? Me trying to think. Oh my, yeah, the Weeknd came back, which was such a big thing because he was the one that was like, oh well. He kind of like got cut off from the Academy Awards for pretty much saying like, hey, your diversity is like messed up, and so accurate. But I'm glad they came back. How to explain it? Like, I haven't listened to his new album. I heard it's really good. It's just like I am a person who like takes my time to really listen to new music. But like, I'll have my playlist on and they're all different, and I don't know what's gonna happen, and you just kind of like go through and you see what you like. But I don't like specifically hunt for albums. I kind of just let it fall into my lap. But I will say that like Starboy is still my favorite album of his in general. Like, I think that one's just like so chaotic, and fucking love it. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I was really glad that happened. Just making sure that it works, and now there's like a long piece. But yeah, I don't know. It was good. I think like a dream of mine is to one day be there and get my own award. I think there's a lot of work that has to be done in order to do that, but it is and has always been a dream. I think like it's something that I haven't done in so long, so I tend to forget about like that I could. You know, when like, so I grew up with a music background, and I did a lot of music when I was a kid up until probably I was 18, and then it all kind of disintegrated away. Then last year I tried to get back into it, but it didn't really sit because it was just chaotic, and sometimes you need to find like the right like time or like the right teacher. Not that the teacher was bad in any way, I love her so much. We were both very busy, and so it was like harder to do. But I feel like one of my New Year's resolutions this year is to get back into it way more determined to fulfill that again, and just like feel it again. Because even last year, like it kind of made me feel so good just exploring it, and it made me feel like I'm a part of who I am again. But it just wasn't the right time. So that's kind of like my New Year's resolution, is to go back and start working through those things again. And I don't know, hopefully it will all work out. I really aim for that. That's what I've always wanted. And music has always been such a big part of my life. Like, everybody in my family has been in some type of band, one thing or another. My grandma was like so well versed in music, and that's where I get most of my music taste from. Same as my mom, but like my grandmother was like my biggest thing, biggest inspiration with music. And she's a crazy trivia winner. Like, she's insane for trivia. So I don't know. I just like, there's a part of me that wants to go back into it for myself and to find myself again. But it's also because I want to like make them proud in a way. Because that was like such a big thing for my childhood, and like I was an opera singer and classical singer for so long, and they put a lot of work into that for me. So I don't know. There's a part of me that always wants to like put that back in and do something with it, and just like show them that all this work was for something. Because I don't know, you follow your life because you have, like, I followed my life and the things I've done now because I've always had a dream, and the dream has always been fueled by wanting to be that person for them. And then I don't know, it gets harder and harder as you grow older, and you like wonder if that was the right move. But I don't know, it's just something that like I've always looked back at and been like, I gotta go back into this. I gotta like figure it out, and I gotta do it because I feel like that's a calling. And this like a little desperate, but like this a massive like attempt to try to like fulfill that and fulfill all of the hard work that went into it in the past, and you kind of just want to do it because I was running away from it for so long. So yeah, I don't know. So grandma season always gets me in that emotional state of like, yeah, I need to go back into it and I need to figure this out. But then you take a class and you realize, oh my god, I am not the same as I used to be, and then it's like really frustrating. It was so frustrating last year because like you're like, how do I explain it? I was at a top notion in my game when I was like 15, 16, and then all of it got like stripped away from me. And then when you try to go back at it years later, it's just like so defeating to know that you like are not that anymore, or like you can be that, but it like takes way more time again, and like all that effort is just like a little bit of a bummer. But you're still like, I'm still like so fascinated and like determined to build it up again. So it makes me like really confused, I guess. Yeah, it makes you really confused. And you just can't be really hard on yourself for those types of things, because it's just how it is. You grow, you change, and you have to rebuild. And something I've learned over the years is exactly that: constant rebuilding, constant ego death, constant changing, new cycle, new change, phoenix changing, like that. It just like repeat, like it's so weird. One thing I find like super interesting with those changing and stuff is like I don't even recognize myself as much as I used to, and I guess that's a part of aging. Like you age and you look at yourself and you're like, oh my god, who am I? But I really start to notice that when I'm in like doing photography, and like I really started to notice that during December, because yeah, like so the fall was such a messed up season, and then you just like split change and you're like, oh my god, yeah, I don't look the same and I don't feel the same, and it's just so confusing. And then that's like the kind of the point of why I went through purging throughout the past year, is because everything that I was and all the stuff that I owned is no longer what I feel is me anymore. And you have to be very okay with letting go, and you have to be really okay with just like the flow of things when it comes to yourself, and like be okay with the rebuild, but like this time hopefully it lasts a bit longer, being that within the 4-year journey of this, of constantly rebuilding and changing and forming my mind differently, of 4 years, you go through different looks, different styles, different everything, and I just hope that it lasts a bit longer this time, because then that would be such a waste of resources. Like the clothing, because I have no idea what I want to look like, and I have no idea what I want when it comes to like a persona, because a persona is constantly evolving, and then you buy something like a shirt, and you're like, oh my god, yes, this is the shirt, and then it's like, actually, this is not the shirt at all, like this is not at all what I want. So yeah, it's really funny that way. Like this is a staple. These pieces have always been a staple. It's just something I have because it's very basic and simple, and you don't have to think about it, and it lasts forever, and it like manages anything. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird. Life is strange, and you constantly just keep going, and you constantly build new things. You find a new way, and so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just thinking and trying to form the new thing, the new version, the new persona, because me as a person in my personal life is usually pretty constant. It's just like the way the outside of it all is just like, and the persona of it all is so drastic and evolving. But I think that's really good. Like, I don't know how to stay completely one thing for so long. And maybe that's just because I'm so used to it now that I'm constantly doing different things. So like, I don't understand how to just be like so solid in it, and maybe that's just the fact that I'm not really good at grounding or like structure. If you can't tell, I am literally all water signs, and then air, and one earth sign. So it's all up in the head, and it's all just like, oh, sort of thing, and like constant motions. So structure and like grounding is not my thing at all. And so I don't know how that works for other people. I'm very like intrigued by it, but I don't know how that works for other people at all. And sometimes I envy it too, because I get like so lost in my head with it, and so lost in the like notion of life that I don't know how to like, I envy the fact that people know how to just be like so solid and so like structured in their way of doing things. I love it, and I want it sometimes, but also I know that I'm amazing in my own way, so I don't really bother. It would just be good to have near. I'm like watching dog videos on my computer, on my television as a background noise, because everyone keeps saying that my water fountain is so triggering. So I decided to do the have television background noise on, and hopefully I don't get like flagged for it. I don't think I would, but who knows? People love to flag things for no reason. But yeah. And the craziest thing about, like, let's say the change and stuff, like, this is the year of the snake, which is the shedding of skins and the constant motion of change in order to reset, Like it's the 9, so it's the end and then the resets. So it's like it's like not gonna get any. It probably will get more solid. It's just like it's still very much like, hey, we have more work to do. We have to change more things, and we have to create more different new stable environments, like creating seeds of life. Um, so yeah, I think it's really funny. That's what it's like right now. Ugh, cause damn, this year's already chaotic. It is a chaotic time, and it's stressful. But with all my choices, I'm not gonna look back on it and be like, oh, I should have done it differently. I shouldn't have. It was exactly what it needed to be, and I'm very happy with that. I just want this arm to be over. Like, I'm really getting irritated by it. But yeah. Doggy. My bucket. I kind of wish sometimes though there was a what's it called when you use both hands, like ambidextrous, because then my arm wouldn't hurt so much. And I think that's like one thing that I am very like what's the like I'm not looking forward to going back into doing photography in a sense because of the editing, and the editing consists of my hand, and I don't like to do a lot with my hand because it just hurts all the time. So I guess like that's one thing that I'm not really excited about going back into photography too, but also I don't know. There's still like such a love for it. It's just having to be careful. And I have like what's it called, like a Wacom pad. 14. It went back down. Interesting. A Wacom pad. Um, it is meant to. It's like a pen, so it like makes it easier to work with. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think I'm gonna turn off for a bit and come back later because this is really hurting. Okay, well, thanks for a little conversation. It was really fun, and I hope it works out. At the end of the day, remember that every change is just a new beginning. Everything you go through just makes you better, and it's okay to not know who you are all the time. I think that's like a given, but it's alright to just not know. And it's also okay to reinvent yourself constantly. I don't think you should worry about what other people think when you do that. Because it's not about them, it's about you, and it's about what you want to pursue, and like how you want to be and how you want to show up. So don't forget that. But yeah, well, have a good one. I ice my arm. Oh my god.